Hi, Tom from bknutrition.com, and today I want to talk about supplements that melt body fat off you. Now, if you are eating well over Christmas or you have ate well over Christmas, it's quite likely that you gain some body fat and are looking to lose that body fat quickly. Now, if you have not reached that point yet, there is a video that I've just done called How to Stop Gaining Body Fat Over Christmas, which I'll link to at the end of this video. Unfortunately, if you are at that point where you're worrying about how to lose body fat that you've gained over Christmas, it's quite likely that you're going to look at a supplement to help you do this, a magic pill to help drop weight off. Now, here's the thing, that we are not stupid generally. I know there are stupid people in the world, but if you're watching this, you are generally taking interest in improving your body, so you have made that intelligent step. So it's highly likely you're not a stupid person. However, even the most intelligent people can be duped into buying a supplement because of the marketing copy that is put onto supplements that tell you that it will turn your body into a fat burning furnace, or it will switch on fat burning mode in your body, or a whole load of other terms. They might even use some technical chemical words or some biological words to like ketosis, which is a really popular one, to try and sell you this product. But let me tell you this, I've been bodybuilding since I was 17, so that's 23 years. In all that time, I've tried nearly every fat burner on the market, and I can categorically say that there is no supplement, not that you can buy over the counter anyway, or from any sort of internet store, that will actually strip or melt or burn fat off you. Most of the supplements on the market don't do anything for you. They have absolutely no effect on you. You'll see in the small print that all these supplements will say as part of a calorie controlled diet, or in subjects using a 1200 calorie diet or something like that. There will be a caveat that you have to have a calorie deficit in place in order to lose body fat. Now, that's true even without the supplements. You would have to have a calorie deficit in place so that you're eating less calories than what you burn. What fat burners do, and most of them anyway, the ones that you can feel working, in inverted commas, they are generally just stimulants. They'll have like caffeine or ephedrine sometimes, or pseudoephedrine or something like that in them as an ingredient. Some of them also have other chemical names like dopamine, teocrine, those sorts of things. These are sort of caffeine or stimulant derivatives, and what they do is they obviously increase your stimulus response, so you're more active, and this, I suppose, in a roundabout way burns more calories, and in a roundabout way, if you ate the same food during the day and expended the same amount of energy and had this fat burner, it would potentially increase how much calories out you did. So that would increase the calorie deficit, but that is not a fat burner in itself. Now, there is a mechanism in the body where adrenaline turns on something called HSL, which actually then starts to break down body fat to be used as fuel by the body. Now, this is a recognized chemical process, and this is or biological process, I should say, and this is potentially what they'll be aiming at, is to saying, this supplement turns on fat burning in the body. What they're talking about is it stimulates adrenaline, which is what stimulants do, and that turns on a process called hormone sensitive lipase, which then breaks down body fat for use as fuel. The only problem is that it takes a long time for this to get into the muscles, and you probably won't burn that in your workout. When you're training, when you're doing exercise, you'll burn generally glycogen in your muscles, which is carbohydrate stores, and you'll also burn something called iron tags, which is intramuscular triglycerides. So that's the fat that's held in between your muscle fibers. The reason it's held there, and it's a good thing, it's not a bad thing, the reason it's there is if you're doing like lots of endurance exercise, like cardio or something like that, or long-term HIIT, the fat can be easily accessible in the muscle to be burnt as fuel. It's highly unlikely, unless you're very obese, because you don't have the enzymes to break down the iron tags. If you're obese, then potentially taking these stimulants will potentially help you in terms of getting more fat in your bloodstream. It's highly unlikely that's going to happen. However, it's more likely that the adrenaline will break down the body fat, and then it'll become reestrified, which is basically a term for turning it back into body fat when it's not been used later on. So these supplements do not work. There's no supplement that will really melt body fat off. Now, there are a few chemicals, a few drugs that you would have to go to a black market to buy. I'm not going to talk about them here because I don't want to encourage people to go and get these black market supplements. But let me tell you, if you did go and buy them, there is a high chance that you might die. And that's why I'm not going to mention them here, because there has been cases where people take these products, they bought them over the counter or they bought them online from this internet thing. They've been dosed wrongly and they have died from doing it. Now, yeah, they do work as fat burners. That's about the only thing that this is one compound that actually does work, but there's a high likelihood that you could die from it. So I'm not going to mention it here. As a general rule, anything you're going to buy in one of the health food shops or from any sort of internet company, which is a reputable one, is not going to work. It might give you a little bit of a stimulant boost, but which potentially, again, might help you work out. And so if you're in a calorie deficit, it might help you work out, go a little bit faster. Now, I'm all for that. I'm all for pre-workouts because I like to have a nice kick before I'm training, but I'm taking that to kick my training up so I get a better workout. I'm not taking it with the explicit thought that it's going to help me burn more body fat. I know, because I'm a nutritionist and my job to know, that me burning body fat is going to come from creating a calorie deficit. So I train as hard as I possibly can and I eat the food that keeps me within my calorie deficit, and that's how I maintain a lean body. And that's how my clients maintain it, and that's how you should be looking to maintain it. By all means, take one of these stimulants and knowing that it's just going to give you a more stimulated workout, but also be aware that there is a crash associated with taking stimulants, and then when you finish the workout, you have this crash where you sit on the sofa. That's called compensation, where the body compensates for the energy expended during the workout and by slowing you down later on in the day. So be aware of that, and that's why you need to monitor that so you're not actually just sat on the sofa for 2 hours after you've done the workout. As long as you are keeping your calorie deficit in place, then you will lose body fat. Take fat burners as a stimulant to boost your workout, but don't take them in the thought that they are actually going to burn body fat away. That's not going to happen, and I want you to be aware of that, because there's lots of companies who will try and exploit this. Now, things that absolutely don't work: green tea doesn't work unless you've not had caffeine for 6 months, which, who's that? Everyone has caffeine, I think. Raspberry ketones do not work. Apple cider vinegar does not work at burning body fat, despite a few dubious studies that show that. In actual fact, one of the studies that's interesting, where people talked about apple cider vinegar reducing weight in people, the weight actually comes from muscle loss, not fat loss. So that's interesting, but people always cite that study. And there's a whole load of other things that don't work, but people do push them, saying, oh, this is work. Absolutely, definitely do not buy things like keto salts or keto fat burners or exogenous ketones thinking that they're going to burn body fat. They absolutely will not. It's a rip-off. They will not work in burning body fat. Well, as of filming this video, I should say, because research is also always changing, but they do not work as fat burners. They'll tell you get into ketosis and that's why you're burning body fat. That's not the way it works. Unfortunately, you can burn body fat without being in ketosis. Ketosis just means you've got ketones in your blood, and that's what they measure when they give you the little sticks to wee on, and then you wee on them. You think, oh, I'm in ketosis, I must be burning body fat. No, you just drunk exogenous ketones. They've gone through your system, come out in your wee, and that's what's giving you the positive reading on the ketosis. You don't have to be in ketosis in order to burn body fat. You just have to be in a calorie deficit. So please bear that in mind. Watch my videos on creating your perfect diet. It will run you through step by step the exact details of how to build your perfect diet for fat loss. You do not need fat burners. If you want to take them as a stimulant for pre-workout, fine. That's what I do. I take a pre-workout drink, which gives me a stimulating workout so I can train more and train harder. But I don't take them for fat burning, and you shouldn't take them for fat burning either. Focus on your diet, eating foods that you like and incorporating them into a calorie deficit. That's what's going to get you the results you want, not a fat burner. So please do not go and buy supplements that are labeled as fat burners or fat strippers. They will not do the job, and you'll end up probably going on some sort of restrictive diet, which puts you in a worse state. So hopefully that's given you some help. If any of the terms or anything else you need clarifying in this video, if you need me to explain a bit further, please do comment below. I try not to go into too much biochemistry and stuff in my videos, because it's not that audience. The audience I'm talking to is normal everyday people, like my clients, who don't really want to know too much about the biochemistry, just want to know how things work or if they're going to work. So if you want anything else explaining, please do let me know. I'll be happy to forward you any studies or anything else that I'm talking about. If this will help you, or help someone else I should say, please forward it on to them. Like, share, comment, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.